On the topic of binge eating, now I am a recovered binge eater. I struggled with it for many, many years. And something that came to mind yesterday, I was at work, and this came to mind. So I wrote it down and I wanted to share it and talk about it. And it was that binge eating may be your way of protecting you. Life gets hard. You don't know how to handle your thoughts, your feelings, your responsibilities. It's your escape. Maybe you didn't learn a healthy way to deal with adversity growing up. Without realizing it, you found a way to, quote, deal with the struggle. But it's time to heal the broken you. And I did a podcast episode a while back about reasons why you may binge eat. And there's an acronym, HALT, H-A-L-T. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And anger, I don't believe, is just anger. I think it can be anxiousness. It can be worry. It can be frustration. It can be a lot of those negative emotions. Just feeling overwhelmed and you don't know how to handle them. And I know me, especially like when I was in college, I'd have all this homework to do and team meetings, and I was just overwhelmed, and I didn't know balance. I didn't know how to take breaks. I didn't know how to rest well. I didn't enjoy school. So like I had all this pressure that I felt like I just need to get things done, but like I didn't want to do it. And so I'd procrastinate, and like I knew that I should be working, but the procrastination, like I wanted to almost want to numb the guilt of not dealing with what I needed to deal with. And so I would binge eat. And so protecting yourself. Maybe you grew up not knowing how to handle conflict well. And so now you might shut down, or you anticipate having conflict with someone, or whatever the case may be. You're anxious about it, you're stressed about it. And to numb that feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with this, or I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. You numb those feelings by eating food. And when you numb those feelings with eating food, it's not just the process of eating food and like that seems like enjoyable to start with, but then you start feeling sick and your stomach hurts and you feel guilty and you're like, why can't I stop? And so that overtakes those other bad feelings. And so initially it feels like I say this gently, it's almost a childish way of protecting yourself, because we didn't learn how to cope with things we didn't like or things that were bad. And now is the time to realize that. You're like, wow, like I didn't know how to cope with these feelings, these situations. And I used food in this scenario that I'm talking about, to push away, push aside, ignore what was going on. And once you realize that, that's an amazing first step towards healing your relationship with food. And I think the next step is, continuing to, on a regular basis, making an effort of like, okay, when you want to binge eat, assess the situation. It may not stop you from binge eating, but if you're a journaler, maybe you can journal like, how am I feeling when I want to binge eat? Or if you don't journal, like right that moment, like afterwards, you're like, how was I feeling? What was going on in my life that was making me want to binge eat? Okay. And then it's partially like analyzing your life. Like, what do you spend your time doing? Of course, we have responsibilities. Some of us can be so busy, family, work, whatever it may be. But do you take the time to Do you take time for yourself? Do you have healthy rest for yourself? And not just rest. Rest is important for everyone all the time on a regular basis. But being able to find rest in those stressful scenarios, those unhappy scenarios where you're angry, frustrated, sad. Instead of numbing those, what hobbies do you have? What creative outlets do you have? What mitigation do you have to deal with the situation or to calm yourself? We always have an inner child. Like, it's not just like you grow up and you have to deal with it. Like, there's always an inner child, and we have to be gentle with ourselves, but sometimes you have to be the parent of your own child, of your own inner child. And so what can you do? What works for you? Is it sitting down with a cup of tea and reading a book for fun? Is it going outside and going for a walk? Is it going to the gym? Is it journaling? Is it praying? Is it reading your Bible? What works for you? This is going to be different for everyone. Not everyone has the same life. Not everyone has the same stressors. Not everyone handles stress the same way. And I don't have the answer for you. It's different for everyone. Like I said, you're just going to there's going to be trial and error. First, noticing what's going on when you're binge eating. Then, okay, can I deal with the situation? Can I just stop procrastinating, take care of it? Or if I'm going to procrastinate, not take care of it right away, what can I do to calm myself? Can I go take a nap? Can I do some self-care? Healthy coping mechanisms. And in my case, I just didn't know how to deal with my stressors in my life, and food was my coping mechanism. But I gave some examples of things that may be good coping mechanisms for you. So yeah, I hope that you find new ways of protecting your inner child instead of binge eating.